All right, sorry for the wait there, guys. Welcome back to the Swain Baddie League. We're finally going in here to Champ Select. However, Nani not gonna be playing with hook resets this time around. He's engaged in other matters and actually not able to answer his phone. So, actually not. Might have been caught by the police or something. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but
Yeah, that'd be pretty reasonable after the way he helped his team just murder 5 dudes in that last game. But fortunately for Fellowship of the Meme, they are going to be seeing Phoenix Blaze back on their Rift, not coming off a hot game too. And as we maybe have a few new viewers joining us here, I don't know what the status is on the SBL 2 stream, as that series could potentially be winding down. But this is currently a 2-1 series lead in favor of Team NANI in a series I think a lot of people were predicting 3-0. These are going to be some auto bans coming out of Team NANI, as they did lose their first 3 bans due to the delays. So expect just to see the first 3 champs alphabetically, I would assume.
That's unexpected.
But yeah, so
Understood.
we had seen Team NANI start the series with Phoenix Blaze in their first 2 games. They won game 1 very fast, but they did lose game 2. So we will see if Fellowship of the Meme can kind of pick up where they left off the last time Phoenix Blaze was in the lineup. But as we are cutting into bans here, so we've got similar bans to what Fellowship of the Meme has been running for a few games now. Xayah, Vel'Koz, Cho'Gath. The Xayah Vel'Koz has been banned, I believe, every game. And the Cho'Gath has been banned since On the Wind had a big game in game 1. So that'll cut us into this first pick, going to be Braum, taken away from, I believe Phoenix Blaze played in game 1. We've also seen Kishat Underling play a few games of support now. And that's traditionally been a big pick from him, which Fellowship of the Meme, they have been swapping up their roles a few times now.
yeah.
And meanwhile...
Yeah, they'll probably stick with the roles they had in the last.
Yes, I think they're settled into what they've been doing, which has been Hibbs in the mid lane, Zachary in the top lane, Resquect in the jungle, the last 2 rounding out their bot lane. But a very big first rotation coming through for Team NANI as they're going to pick up Jarvan and Orianna. We've seen them first rotation, the Jarvan on both sides in every single game so far tonight. And Orianna, obviously a major pick for Blue Boer. That's they're not willing to wait for that one to go missing.
Yeah. Did you explain the bans?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. Just obviously Nani losing the 3 bans there for the delay of game, but Kha'Zix picked in for Fellowship of the Meme. Obviously going towards the jungle here. Interesting. I guess you don't see a lot of Kha'Zix. You've seen it a little bit in the World's group stage. Granted, it is on an older patch, so I'm not sure what has happened since the last 2 patches came out with Kha'Zix, but looking maybe for some early game snowball, something that can actually duel Develop Melk's Jarvan once again.
Yeah, we've seen a few games. Lee Sin in the jungle, actually, I think in all 3 games for Fellowship of the Meme, whether it was Zach in game 1 or Resquect in games 2 and 3. So Kaz is going to fill a similar role, maybe a little stronger as a duelist, a little less mechanical skill required to execute. And then Twitch for Bernie Sanders' bot, which he went off in game 2. I believe 12, 2, and 13 was the final score line, or at least very similar to that. So not surprised to see that champ coming back out as we're heading into this second round of bans. Yasuo has been the go-to in the top lane for Zachary so far, so Nani going to take that away. Caitlyn being targeted at the Mighty Wolf, which he played in game 1 and game 2 when he was playing with Phoenix Blaze, so probably a champ he just felt more confident playing with a support he had a little less energy with. I know that was always my thought process playing AD carry. If I was playing with a support I didn't know well or didn't trust as much, you just pick Caitlyn and do it all yourself. So not going to be an option here for him. Maybe he goes back to that Tristana.
Yeah.
But no, maybe not going to go back to that Tristana. So that's going to be 3 bans dropped onto Mighty Wolf.
3 smart bans, I think, but leaves open the Varus that they have been banning previously. Twitch has already picked Fellowship of the Meme, so we're kind of running out of meta ADCs, but there's still a lot you can make work. Cog is still up if they want to go for that, but they'd have the double shields for him. But the comeback for Jin.
All right, Jin Janna.
Boost up those Qs, man, or the Ws, man, with the AD. Yeah, that's interesting to say the least. I think they might have gotten to the end of Mighty Wolf's champ pool. I mean, as far as meta stuff goes, this is obviously a champion he's very comfortable with, but how does Jin play into the equation that is this meta game?
Yeah, we will see. I am about how this Jin Janna lane is going to play out, but
Yep.
maybe he feels better about it into the Twitch, as we're going to see some hardcore tanking rounding out this composition for Fellowship of the Meme, Galio and Maokai. So they are Bernie Sanders bot has all the tools to have a very, very big game, but all of the pressure is on him to do so.
Yeah, they have now literally put all of the eggs into that basket, and
Yeah, that's a really strange thing to see out of these guys. As I'm the one to round things out with the Poppy, not too surprising of a pick there. But Hibbs, Zach, Resquect are all guys that I feel like we've seen want to take the burden of being the carry, and all three of them are deferring down to one of their gold players here and saying to Bernie Sanders about like, "Hey man, we'll set you up, but we need you to do this." And that is not something I would have predicted going into this draft. Because
yeah,
their first game with the Twitch, they had a bunch of very aggressive picks all across the map, and it was just everyone trying to make their own plays with Bernie Sanders bot coming out on top of them all.
yeah, they're really setting themselves up for failure if Bernie Sanders just really doesn't snowball like he did in the past games. They don't have another consistent ranged damage threat at all. Their other damage threat is a melee jungle assassin. So the snowball's got to be pretty real here for Fellowship of the Meme if they want to do any kind of battle. However, though, Mighty Wolf on this Jin also not a very good scaling AD. But I mean, you still have Blab though on the reliable Orianna. So I mean, any way you spin it though, I think there's just more damage coming out of the NANI team comp.
Yeah, you can't really put less damage into a team comp than what Fellowship of the Meme has.
Right, for at least for reliable, consistent damage. I mean, Twitch with spray and pray, it's a lot of like good burst, right? You're cutting through multiple champions, and it's all going to the backline. You're getting those poison stacks, but after you pop the E, your damage threat kind of goes lower, right? Whereas with other AD carries, it ramps even higher the more auto attacks you get, like Jinx or Kog'Maw or something like that.
Yeah, Twitch isn't quite on the same tier as the Jinx or the Kog'Maw, but he is still one of the best AD carry scaling AD carries in the game.
Yeah.
With the poison damage skill is an extra damage multiplier that a lot of champs don't have. And obviously that spray and pray just shreds through teams. But maybe he won't have as much room to be the playmaker, which is something you sometimes see, especially very good Twitches like some of the all-time great Korean Twitches.
Imp. Yeah.
Big part of their game, yeah, is about stealthing in and going and popping out and finding a pick onto somebody. And he's going to be locked into a much more structured team fighting Twitch in this game, and maybe won't be able to take as many risks because when he's off the map, his team is not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you see, even what we have now to look like it's gonna be Galio mid here with the double teleport for Fellowship the Meme. Any kind of like contest in that top side of the map, whether it's Rift Herald or some kind of buff or even just like vision control of the river, you have to give it up. There's just nothing these beefy dudes can do. I mean, Kha'Zix sure has a lot of good early game damage, but I feel like the three up top for Nani is still just a little bit better.
So we do see, while we can see some of the summoners here, Kishat Underling is taking the Ignite again. So that seems to be his thing.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe just a thing knowing that Phoenix Plays is not going to be playing anything aggressive. I mean, just the champion pick alone, Janna, Avdamina Blight, with the changes she had in 7.19, I think, she's actually able to trade a little bit better, but just still nowhere near any other kind of support. So, yeah, looking to prey on that weakness again with the Ignite.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I know I was a little skeptical of it in game 2. Except maybe it's game 3. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen the game. But when you're so reliant on one carry to carry, it is really hard to go in without the exhaust, in my opinion.
Going into like the team fights, you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like, you just have to assume at some point your AD carry is going to need to get bailed out with that exhaust. I cannot oversell how badly I think Fellowship of the Meme is going to be fucked at any points post 20 minutes when their Twitch is dead.
Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing there, right? There's even no. I mean, Galio has the little move where the wind comes together. Is that his wave clear?
That's their wave clear, dude.
Without Twitch, and you got Maokai saplings and like some Qs, but like that's super unreliable. Yeah, it's nowhere to be had. And this is actually a really good sieging team now that we started to paint that avenue a little bit brighter. Jhin, Orianna, Poppy to even knock people away for a disengage if it gets a little bit too spicy for them. So here we are, folks. Sorry for the delay once again. I mean, they're already 24 minutes in on their the game 4 on Swain BL2, and it looks like 4 EP with a 3K gold lead over D20. So they're going for that game 5 hype on Swain BL2.
30 seconds.
I hope whoever Master Splinter is on his vacation, he has not been tuning into this stream at all. He deserves better if he's on vacation right now. Just let him wake up and find out he lost, not go through the ropes.
Pretty safe standard level ones here from both teams.
Yeah, I think tensions are probably pretty high in this game. Obviously, no one likes to deal with 30-minute delay. Trust us, neither do we. But that tends to, I feel like that was really raising the tensions for both of these teams. And then you have one team coming off a dramatic loss, and the other team having to bring back a sub that they had just lost with. So this is going to be a very strange game mentality-wise for both of these teams. So I would not be at all surprised to see this game maybe start a bit slower than, say, game 1 and 2 did.
Yeah, and especially if Fellowship of the Meme, if they don't want to go any kind of aggressive anywhere on the map, and they just want to like sort of slowly play out these lanes, and then maybe only if you have the jungle support and maybe like a teleport coming into the bottom lane, can you then force something and try to get your Twitch ahead. But for them, I think they just want to play this safe and get to a point where the Twitch can actually show its strength. And for the first time, oh, we gotta switch some champions around here.
I like,
that. Yeah. Zachary not on the Yasuo, or I mean Lee Sin rather, if he's playing jungle, but on a tank, sort of a scaling tank here in Maokai.
Yeah, really curious to see how that changes up. Obviously, that's going to be a new playstyle from what we've seen out of him. We've seen him play tanks in the jungle, but tanks in the jungle versus tanks in the top lane actually play very, very differently. As opposed to the damage role, where it's going to be a bit more similar, whether it's jungle or top lane, in my opinion. And Zachary is actually in a lot of danger here. Poppy has a bit more significance of a kill range than a lot of people realize. So good play out of Respect to kind of make his way up into this top lane. As both of these solo lanes are actually playing with a lot of fire so far. But it looks like in the top lane we may be going to see Respect coming in. Does a nice job waiting out the jump there, but On the Wind will just be able to walk out of that one. Now we do see On the Wind pathing over. Or sorry, about pathing over, but not going to go towards the top, as that wave's probably a little bit too big for him to engage on. As he's going towards this mid lane, which I think we're about to cut back to, and there we go! Hibbs being forced to flash there, the Ignite is down, the EQ auto going to finish things off. Devout Milk once again finds first blood.
He is just so goddamn consistent with his pathing here, and get shots. There it is. There's that pause.
I appreciate that he asked for pausing instead of just doing it.
I
Just a heads up in case anyone didn't know, in League of Legends, anyone in the game can pause when it's turned on. This is not like garbage Overwatch made by an indie game developer Blizzard. This is a AAA title where you could just type /pause. So in case anyone does not know about that. That being said, I would not have paused if I were Mighty Wolf. I would have killed Kiss Shot on Nerling.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I had bad karma and was never able to win this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's competition. If it's on the Rift, you gotta go for it.
Yeah, exactly, because you have to assume that it's something cheeky going on. The other team is going to notice that their player, like, they should notice that their player DC'd faster than you can realize it on the other team, so. Yes. But, good guy to Mighty Wolf there. Maybe he's been reformed since his main account got the 2-week ban.
Yeah, he's still under that ban. I think him or one of his friends said it's gonna be till the end of the season, right? I don't think we'll see the Mighty Wolf Monker anymore. Yeah, at least this season.
All right,
here we are. Unpause. Kiss Shot is back in the game. Health Pot will get that health back that he lost.
Yeah, now we see Mount Mel coming in his bot lane, forcing the flash early out of the switch.
Wow, no, it looks like the resets just got back. So
he's there for the game 5 if necessary.
Yeah. But Hip's going in on Renai's circulation. He does have his jungler in the wing, so he's trying to bait that one over to the opposite side. But I think a ward in the river bush spotted that one out.
Yeah, it's about Milk was kind of hanging around in the neighborhood as well. As Renai does walk into that queue there. We are so close to seeing a kill somewhere on this map, and I don't know where it's going to be.
You inspire me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be some more jungle intervention needed. Milk maybe looking for something bot lane, but knows that there's a ward in the tri-bush there. Hip's going in, Respect, jumps over the wall, and now the flash, auto Q, not going to be enough damage. Lab stays safe with the flash.
That's a flash blown out of Respect, so flash traded there. Meanwhile, this bot lane, Exhaust going down onto Bernie Sanders' bot, who has to be careful. That's a Jhin you're chasing into. And it's going to be, I think, a Summoner's spell trade. Yeah, flash out of Bernie for 2 Summoners, sorry, from the NANI bot lane. Man, it is so hard to not have the champion portraits lined up.
Yeah. Kiss Shot looking like he wants to go in. Lands the Winter's Bite. Low mana for Mighty Wolf, and not going to be that much of a response.
And ultimately, the gain has slowed back down for all the tension we had building up early.
Yeah. CS leads pretty close across the board. Couple slight discrepancies either way in top and mid, but a little less than a wave each, so it's nothing too crazy right now. It's really a lot of this gold lead, the first blood. Poor NANI.
Yeah, and I think NANI is content to play this one out slow. We were saying everything that, is going to be an issue composition-wise for Fellowship of the Meme is more of a deal if they don't get a lead early. think we're going to see a first back coming out of the Mighty Wolf and friends down there. They finish shoving that wave in. So up to almost 1,000 gold lead here. Just from the straight laning phase. We'll see some of that equalize in this moment of 2v0 in the bot lane, but still casually accruing a lead here is Team NANI.
Yep.
As it's playing forward. Man, I get too excited every time Galio jumps in.
Yeah. It feels like he's gonna do something crazy and big, and like his team is just waiting there on the other side. Nope, that's just how Galio trades. But yeah, Hibbs is holding up pretty well even after the gank in the mid lane. Still having a slight CS lead and not feeling too scared of Blab, even with the ignite Noriana.
Speaking of guys that were holding up well, on the wins, even though he's been losing the last few trades up here, still in a decent spot, and despite him having taken a gank already, he's sitting in a 20 CS lead very early here. Very impressive to be doing that in this matchup.
Yeah.
So fast. And so he will have to be careful as he is under a bit of a kill pressure at this point. As he's really not respecting Zachary's health bar at all. I'm not this aggressive, but I'm in the top lane, and Zachary gonna flash forward, takes the easy kill.
Yeah. He didn't have a corrupting potion stack left on the wind, and he had flash up, and yeah, he was just in range for the twisted advance combo.
I don't really know what to say there on the wins. That was such an insane amount of disrespect he was showing.
Yeah. And he'll Vaydiri. Zachary with the solo kill. At least getting some more gold in his pocket, getting the items that he needs to at least stand toe-to-toe with Poppy.
Yeah, there goes all the lead we've been talking about. Now Kishach on court, he's giving the stun down onto the Jin. Jin being knocked up by the Brawl. Bernie Sanders bot trying to put something down here. Heal was popped by the Mighty Wolf, but he should be able to keep the rest of his summoners, as Janna ult going to be popped just to heal.
Oh, Respect.
Now Respect showing up, but he does walk over a ward, having some knockups chain, but the Galio's going to be there to defend him. Galio without a lot of health, though. It looks like the Mobile Wells going to double Cataclysm, but the Blast Cone hit both these little health members getting out. A Renai Cyclist coming in with the Shockwave, only hits one, but he is in a lot of damage. Trying to get a kill here. Nice Ignite auto-kiting on his way out. A 1-for-1 trade so far. But now Development maybe playing too aggressively. A double kill for the Twitch. And Teleport doesn't even have to be channeled from the top lane. Now Bernie Sanders bot is flashing forward, looking for a stun here. And it's looking like Mighty Wolf maybe going to make it out, but he just barely gets stunned underneath tower range. He's trying to trade kills, and Respect gets out. A 3-for-1 in favor of Fellowship of the Meme.
Oh my god, the turnaround, that was actually some really cool micro outplays from Fellowship of the Meme. Hibbs dashing towards Blab there to dodge the shockwave, only picking up Braum in that one. So not an effective shockwave overall. The Cataclysm thought they could lock up people and finish off with the Jhin ultimate. None to be had there, and they all just get separated, and Twitch picks up 2 kills for himself.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is those kills going on to Bernie Sanders' bot, who is really starting to have an excellent series. That is where they needed to get their gold lead.
Yeah, precisely. And they have a slight 100 gold lead, but Fellowship, I mean, that means they're a contender in this match. They have the gold in the right place. It's a matter of whether they can keep this up. Will NANI deviate their strategy somehow and try to stop this snowball? I will be right back.
Alright, I will solo cast here as Blue are starting to chunk the hell out of Hibbs here. Right, good job playing all these chunks. Yes, going for the shockwave. Hibbs gonna be really low. That auto attack so close to finding the kill. Doesn't look like Renai's gonna find it. Not willing to try to make a play with this flash there. Meanwhile, in this top lane, On the Wind is starting to lose these trades pretty handily. He does still have Corrupting Potion charges, but he's got to stop engaging into this creep wave here. And looks like he does not agree with me as he's going to pull Zachary under tower there. Actually, will not take it. Multiple tower shots there. But Respect is showing up in the top lane. But Renai and Devout Milk are coming up the river. This could get spicy pretty quickly here. Although Renai going for a recall and Devout Milk is going to show on a ward here. So I imagine we're not going to see too much. As Respect is still back in the depths of this fight. I think he's going to just sit in that bush and not engage this one.
Alright, I'm back.
And somehow all of that excitement doesn't turn into anything.
Oh, cool.
But now Hibbs waiting around at his blue buff, going for the knockout as On the Wind is channeling the Poppy ult, knocking away the Maokai, but still getting hit by all of those dirty roots. Respect now popping the Kha'Zix ult, going forward, and he's gonna get the kill on the Wind. Now he's chasing forward on Devout Milk, but Renai is there to save him.
And a slight aggressive overstep once again by NANI, and Fellowship of the Meme, they punish the members as they exit the jungle and they pick up a kill for themselves. So the momentum still on Fellowship's side. They're looking good. But a quick update from Stream 2. 4EP wins Game 4 and ties up the series as they go into Game 5 hype.
Oh, but in this mid lane, Renai putting down the shockwave, and this time you are not going to get out of that one, Kaleo. A solo kill for Klakur.
Yeah.
And now I think we're going to find the bot lane is the ult going down in a Phoenix Blaze. No Phoenix Blaze. You would stop the bleeding. You would stop it from Game 2, but you're bringing it back. Giving up the 2v2 kill. And Turbuncle not going to be able to match. But he's going to try anyways, calling down the curtains, looking for the shot, but I don't think he's going to find it.
Direct Camera didn't even give a shit about that. The Direct Camera knew there's nothing gonna be happening.
That was the worst part of Jhin being meta. Directed Camera did not do well with Jhin ults.
Yeah, none at all. The algorithm actually just didn't know how to detect that kind of stuff. So human intervention needed to really see the full landscape. But you know what we should have though by now is like that full zoom out that they do.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
oh.
that'd be nice. Riot, please. I mean, you've heard it before, I bet, but that'd be cool. Put it on the list. But we got still a dead even game essentially gold-wise, but I can't stress enough how much Fellowship is actually in this mentally, right? They won a game already, which is more than even them expected. But they're looking pretty good here in Game 4.
And their kills are going into such good places. They've got the Kha'Zix snowballing, and they've got the Twitch snowballing.
Yeah, literally the 2 damage threats that they've been doing, but it's just a kind of a bonus in my opinion that Kha'Zix is where he's at.
It actually is worth noting. Bernie Sanders' bot actually isn't that far ahead. Only sitting up about 300 gold currently, just with how the CSing has been going in favor of the Mighty Wolf.
Yeah, Mighty Wolf still impeccable last hitting. But the Runans is finished and the BF sword's in pocket for Bernie.
So Team Gold looking essentially even at this point in the game. First Dragon is a win, so we still might see both these teams avoiding that for a bit longer. As up here in this top lane, we're kind of hitting the point where the Maokai wins the trades.
Yeah. Oh, and some action here in the bot lane. Going for the dunk. Glacial Fissure trying to disengage this, but Bernie Sanders, he's still laying down those Twitch stacks. The poison stacks take out Devout Milk, and now the flash from Phoenix Blaze under his tower. Safety will not save him, and the whip on the shockwave. So no answer from NANI in the bot lane, but meanwhile in the top lane, Fellowship going for the 2-on-1 onto On the Wind. Mighty Wolf turning it around, but Bernie Sanders picks it right back up. 6-0-1 for him, 3-0-2 for Respect on Kha'Zix.
Oh no, and they win the fights in both of the side lanes there. Outplays across the map for Fellowship of the Meme. There's so much to unpack there, but what matters is that Bernie Sanders bought 6-0-1 on the Twitch, and Respect 3-0-2, and now a first brick going up in this top lane for Fellowship of the Meme. Just so many misplays there out of Team NANI. And now they are playing on a huge back foot, and unlike in game 2, where they had the options to get onto the Twitch and weren't able to do it, this is a game where it's going to be very, very difficult for them to get to that Twitch between the Braum, Maokai, and Galio all there to form a line for him.
Yeah, this is something Fellowship can work with here. They got now a little over 2k gold lead. And they got the first brick there, which I think it might be the first of the series for them. Not sure. Maybe not in their win, but still a good sign to tell here. Oh.
Ooh. So Shockwave gonna be flashed there by Hibbs, and Respect has shown up, and God, Babu are melting so fast there. And that's just it. That's the Kha'Zix snowball. This is what happens when the Kha'Zix gets ahead.
Yeah, that was a lot of burst. I mean, he does have the Warrior Stalker's blade here. He's looking for some more attack damage and lethality. Black Cleaver, I assume, is what that one's going out of. So yeah, a very good spot for Respect here on Kha'Zix. And a crazy CS lead. He is 1,800, a little less than 1,800 gold up on Devout Milk, First Blood King. So that's something. I mean, it's Kha'Zix. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I forgot. Duskblade of Drakthar. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage indeed. They are going to be... That Babur getting popped in that last fight is not the last time we're going to see that Kha'Zix play happen.
Zek laying down some deep vision on the red buff of NANI. Lab spots him out there. Maokai ult comes through, but he gets snared up, and Respect with the jump in on Kha'Zix deletes him from the map once again.
Yeah, this is not looking good. This Team NANI is honestly already starting to look mentally checked out of this game.
Yeah, they're really just like trying these like lazy plays and are just not answering in the correct way, not playing defensive enough for whatever reason. And the knockup comes through. Twitch Poison chews through the enemy minion wave and Devout Milk again, leading to his third death and the 7th kill for Bernie Sanders' spot.
I was hiding.
Yeah, now Respect gonna go pop that Rift Herald down. This mid lane turret probably not long for this world. This on the wind's trying to force something, but he's getting stunned up. He has to flash out. Heal popped as well, but that may have stalled some major time out here as the curtain being called, but he only gets 2 shots off before the tanks are gonna threaten him out of his ult stance there. And now another creep wave rolling up for Fellowship of the Meme. They should be able to push this mid lane down, and they will do so. And where's Herald?
Respect killed it. Oh wait a minute. Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
I thought I saw him summon it earlier.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't. So it looks like the siege not gonna be done yet as bam, Herald going up and chunking that mid turret out.
Yeah. Could've maybe like to see them hold on to that one. Use it for maybe the bot lane if they got the wave prep for that. It's an easy tier 1 take in bottom lane now with the lead that they have. And the tower dive possibility from Galio and Maokai. So they could have used it into a tier 2 bot, but yeah, they get it out of the way. They don't want to burden themselves with it, and they'll pick up a Cloud Drake though.
Yeah, picking that up 4 minutes faster than the last first Cloud Drake we saw.
Nice. Thanks, Quick Shot.
Alright, so let's maybe take stock of where these teams are at. So, fortunately for Fellowship of the Meme, this is maybe an easier point in the game to play with the lead, as I really feel like when the 15 to 20 minute mark, a lot of teams struggle to know what to do. But now that we're really getting into the balls of mid-game here, you know, you start having more obvious rotations to make and places to go set up vision. So we'll see what Fellowship of the Meme opts to do here. If they want to maybe set things up near Baron. No, it's looking like they're going for a big dive here on this bot lane. Interbunkled has no idea. Bernie Sanders bot coming out of stealth, laying down this damage onto the Jhin, and there goes Zachary following the Jhin flash. Is Bernie Sanders bot legendary just melting through this opposing bot lane. Him's going to pick up his first kill of the game. Easy double kill there.
And that's just classic SBL Cloud Fiesta bot lane, right? Zach with the teleport, Hibbs with the Galio ult, a long lane to walk out, and Flash is down for Mighty Wolf in his life as well. Same for Phoenix Blaze, but he kept his summoners. But here it is. Here's that easy tier 1 tower take. Even easier with 2 dead, but they're looking for more. They're going to keep sticking into this. Flash,
yeah, Brad playing way too deep. Oh man, Respect. Look at how much damage he puts out.
Oh, that was actually insane. I mean, granted, he doesn't have any armor, but still insane. 22-minute Kazakhs able to do that. 16-4 for Fellowship of the Meme as they get their 4th tower.
This game is escalating a lot faster than Game 2 did for Fellowship of the Meme, as they are now going to be sitting at 6,000 gold lead at 23 minutes. Him's going to teleport out to stop any more damage from being laid down in the mid lane by Devout Milk. And they are really looking like they want to... Fellowship of the Meme is not content to just roll over and die in this series, as just like the last time we had a dual SBL stream, we may see both games go into Game 5.
Yeah, is that what happened with 2 best of 5s?
Yeah, and the last time it happened, one of the teams was reverse swept. We may see that happen again tonight, pending the other stream.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is quite a night here. Season 10, week 4. I mean, you know, it's a short season, little tournament format, but this is the kind of type of stuff we can get here in week 4.
Much more drama than we expected going into tonight's.
Yeah. Yes, I agreed. Too much drama, a commissioner might say. But you know, Fellowship of the Meme, they looking like they're taking the Game 4 win here, so they can just go fuck themselves.
So you see Respects in that Baron pit starting to clear things out, as that's, you know, probably the obvious play to make at this point. Start sending vision around Baron, be ready to engage it, as they're just kind of slowly pressuring mid and top lane here. They do have a big wave building up in the bot lane.
Bernie Sanders in the mid lane. He got the Runance and IE and another Zeal on top. Melk getting caught out in his own jungle, trying to just ward it up and play defensive. But Bernie Sanders, he actually got caught and rooted by the Jhin snare there. Had to use the flash. The heal is still up, but turns it around and Renai's circulation goes down. On the wind, has to flash out. Rick Squack going deep on this Kazakhs. Picks up 1 kill. He's going for more. Will he tower dive? And he goes for it.
Yes, he will, and he finds it. Oh, Respect. He's playing like a brand new man right now. And these guys are not done. They are diving 3 towers deep right now. And they're picking up all the kills. A triple kill for Respect before he's finally punished for his crimes. But that is an ace for 1 in favor of Fellowship of the Meme, as they are taking over this game. No one on their team told them they have creeps on the bot lane inhibitor tower, so they're not going to rotate there. But they are going to get this mid lane tier 2 and keep pushing. Watch out though, On the Wind is going to be spawning in 4. He does have a teleport available. Maybe going to go for a play as his team coming out of base with home guards here. But we do not see a channel. Looks like it's going to be a base cracked, and Fellowship of the Meme is going to settle for that. But wow, this is so dominance out of Fellowship.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's kind of in the same spot they were in their 1 game win so far the night. They cracked the base, not as much as the last time. They took down 2 full inhibitors last time, but it's still a lot of map pressure now where they could potentially try to burn down a Baron pretty quickly. I mean, Kazakhs is a pretty good objective jungler. He has, you know, the unseen threat and the
Yeah, no, unfortunately for Devout Milk, there is the unseen threat jumping over, telling him to get the hell out. That's his jungle now. We do have Dragon spawning in 10 seconds here. It is Wind Dragon number 2. Looking like Fellowship is going to go secure that while they're there.
Isolation. Yeah, thanks, Dan. I literally have not seen or played with the Kha'Zix in a very long time. I didn't know. It's Isolation though. That's why he's so good. And
Did you play Kha'Zix?
I did play him back in season 3. So yeah, I probably should have known that, but my memory is
Zachary, though, maybe a bit deeper than even he can make it out of. We do see Galio coming in, though. Gets nice knockups there as these tanks are surviving for a long, long time. They are buying a lot of time here for the damage to get it. And then Respect comes in! Oh no! Those outbounds are melting so fast! A double kill for Respect. Birdie putting down damage with the spray and pray. And Flaboor does not put down enough damage to stop this. He has the flash to Winter's Fight there as Galio zoning everyone out. A 0 for 3 for the Fellowship.
A straight 10k gold lead now, and they are pretty much replicating their game 1 win, or game 2 win, I should say. Their 1 game win this series of the night, and they have the control board and Baron. Only 2 people up right now for NANI. Phoenix Blaze just got up, but
they're starting it because Devout Milk is not yet spawned. This Baron will be dead long, long before Devout Milk can get to the Baron pit. So pending a miracle, this is going over to Fellowship with the meme, and there it is. Baron Nashor secured at 28-30 here by Fellowship of the Meme.
yeah, this now it's just methodical closeout, right? They have the beefy frontline. They have the super fed Twitch again in 906. Static Shiv on top for even more wave clear as they go in for these inhibitor towers. I mean,
yeah, and their tanks are so big at this point in the game. Like, look at how long their tanks were able to just fight. 2 versus 5 in that last fight. It bought a lot of time for their double Cloud Drake team to rotate up to them. And this should be very easy to execute on some tower dives now, as maybe Respect wants to find something easier than a tower dive. Looking for the isolation on Devout Milk. He's popping his shit, but not gonna find Milk there.
Yeah, now it's just a lot of tower hugging for NANI. I mean, they have some. I mean, they actually do have a lot of good disengage tools, right? They have On the Wind, the Poppy ult. They have the Monsoon from Janna. Shockwave in itself, I guess, can be used as a disengage, but does Devout Milk even dare try to go in on Twitch? I mean, he kind of has to. There has to be some kind of threat, something to get Bernie Sanders out of the free hit mode. I just don't know if it's there for NANI.
Yeah, and even if it is, they still have to worry about Respect, who at this point is a multi-kill threat.
Yeah.
You know, we saw just jumping in and popping his moves, half-helding the entire team. Although Zachary, unlike before, is much too far from his team here. He's going to buy as much time as he can running here, but that is a lot of time he's buying. He is 1 versus 5ing with Baron creeps right now. He buys so much time that his team is going to get a second inhibitor turret by the looks of things, as this turret is going down very fast. Fellowship is going to hit that and get the hell out.
Yeah, a lot of time bought there for Fellowship. Just another inhibitor tower, though. Still not an inhibitor crack. And granted, that was the best play I think NANI had, right? They soloed out the split pusher, blew his flash, and killed him.
I don't know. To me, when you have this big of a lead, having the 2 inhibitors exposed might be worse than just having a single inhibitor down. Because this should be a very routine play to just walk in and take these 2 inhibitors now for Fellowship at the mid.
Yeah, you're right. I guess no tower defense for NANI makes it pretty nerve-wracking. I mean, it's just one Righteous Glory twisted advance away from the fight starting. No tower to hide behind. So, I guess we'll see. I mean, the Baron buff, though, I think they outlasted the Baron buff, perhaps. Yeah, just a little bit left on that. Respect is really the only one in lane right now utilizing that for a little bit of pushing power. What is Mighty Wolf doing? Doing something sneaky. He is.
He's trying, but I think it's working too. As Kazak's not able to trouble that puppet, but he is able to flash. Now can he hit the curtain call?
Oh!
One whiff, but no, not gonna whiff anymore. And that stops the game for a little bit at least.
Yeah, I mean they also got his flash, so they're just picking off the members of Fellowship that go into these long side lanes, blowing their flashes and killing them too, and delaying the game is what they, I guess, really need, right? Because at 6 items for every champion in this game, 1 kill on Twitch, it's all that's needed, right, for NANI. So that's, yeah, buying time.
They have that going, but
they have that going, but I don't know if we can get there.
We're a long way from there.
Yeah. And their side lanes need to get cleaned up. But they're sick and strong in mid here. Shrek's still not up though. 3 seconds on him, so it is a 5v4 momentarily, but the wave clear from Fellowships is there. Bernie's in the back just hitting them, so it's... Nope.
There we go. Like they're willing to fight this one. On the wing, looking for a big poppy ult. He knocks out the Maokai, but a nice 3-man knockup by Hibbs on the Galio. And now we see the Kazakhs has arrived. And this is another disaster. You close your eyes, you miss a triple kill there for the Kazakh. Picking up the Quadra. Respect is a long way to go to find this Penta. And I don't think he has any hopes of getting it, but still, that is going to be a game-ending Quadra kill. 15-2 for Respect. 9-0-9 Bernie Sanders bot. And somehow, in this matchup, we thought was going to be a 2-hour 3-0. We are going to be going to Game 5.
Yeah. Fellowship banding together under the power of the meme. They are the meme team for SBL, and they enter the Game 5 hype. Oh! And there it is. Okay, the GG's come through. That's it, folks. Get your Game 5 hypes going. I'll find some silver scrapes and
get your multi-Twitch, folks.
Get your multi-Twitch going. Is the robot fight still going on?
No, America got fucking whooped.
Dude, fucking anime. All right, let's.
You can't beat anime.
You can't beat anime. Stay tuned. Game 5 hype coming up.